begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Vertex Eldora Truck Challenge presented by Vertex Experience. My name is Chaz Draycott. Joining me in the box tonight is the fantastic Chris Dawes. And, well, Chris, here at Eldora with 650 brake horsepower trucks, this is going to be a bit of an interesting evening, isn't it, my friend?
It is. Thank you very much. I don't know whether fantastic Chris Dawes has gone, so I'm just the standard Chris Dawes is standing in for him. I hope that's okay.
Very, very fine indeed with me, mate. Very fine indeed.
What a big up. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is unique, isn't it? We've been watching the practice and chatting about this dirt track and how it evolves during the course of the evening's entertainment, basically. And I've been watching the times on this practice as well. They're just so close. It's unbelievable.
It really is, and I just want to take this opportunity to apologise to everyone for the music. I really do not have a clue what's going on, but apparently Discord hates the fact that my music's playing and I've got a microphone plugged into my PC, so we've got no music. At the moment, the cars are actually...
on Facebook.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was on and off quite a lot then. It confused me. I don't know whether the girlfriend's doing it on the laptop upstairs because she's got the same Spotify login, so maybe it's something to do with that, but you never know. Anyway, moving on from that, the session for qualifying is just about to hit 5 minutes. It is just finished now. That's why we don't see any cars on track at the moment, everybody. We have the wonderful circuit ahead of us now. So the guys are going to get on the grid for the first heat then. We've got 2 heats tonight, which are essentially going to line us up for qualifying for the final. So Guillaume Hesno takes pole in this one from Connor Mills, Aaron Smith, Billy Fletcher and Brian Crowells. And don't forget, we have... I can't believe that we're actually seeing this, Chris, but we have trucks on track on dirt tonight. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, as you do.
It's going to be...
And they basically just spend the whole time sideways, and the reality is they never get to 100% throttle either, do they?
No. I mean, we were watching Aaron Smith, who's in this heat here in the yellow car, or yellow truck, I should say. I'm going to get used to doing that tonight. He was completely on it everywhere. He actually did say in the chat before the race that he always chokes during qualifying, and he's done it again. So Guillaume Hesno is on pole in the number 68 Red Face Racing truck, and then Connor Mills is alongside. Connor Mills, of course, recently became the Vertex Stock Car Cup champion. So he's got a lot of pressure on to retain his crown here. A very different discipline to what we've seen. But we're going to get the first of 2 heats tonight underway, and then we have the final.
3 heats,
yes.
Now. Yeah.
We've been given a third one, so even more entertainment for us here.
Yeah, we never complain about late additions, do we, to the field? That's the right way to go. Yeah,
definitely. Adding more racing is just more excitement and entertainment for ourselves. We were both talking today and just saying how excited we both get by the motorsport. Chris described himself as the fan in the box, which I massively agree with, because, if we don't enjoy what we're watching, then what's the point in doing it, eh?
Plus, I find is that it's the excitement is contagious, so you carry them along with you even if it's not great. But this, I think, is safe to say, is going to be mental.
As Hesno puts it down, gets his foot on. Look at the sideways action straight off the bat. Aaron Smith is up into second place then. Connor Mills is around the high line. Now, over the course of the night, you will see that line gradually get more and more slick and more slippy for these drivers. Connor Mills sat in third at the moment. He's going to go up to the high line again. We'll go on board for a second. It's literally going to be right hand down most of the way. And as Chris said, they barely get into full throttle, but there's so many different angles and just so much attack going into these corners. It's amazing stuff. You've got Fletcher and Crowell's there making a little bit of contact at the back. Brian has just got to dip down to the inside. He knows that he can't get the speed out of the truck as he goes high up because Billy's going to be there compromising his line. But I tell you what, Chris, Hesno making this look easy at the moment, just leading it from Smith.
It's interesting to see the very different line that we've got there from Brian Crowell's in the 48 car that was going right on the bottom there. That is something that we expect to see a little bit later once the what you'll watch is that the dirt will get sort of rubbered down. Oh, he's really struggling down there. And everybody else has got the speed at the top line where they can at the moment until it just, whilst it's wet mud, it sounds sort of counterintuitive, doesn't it? But that's where they need to be at the moment, just slightly tapping the wall at the top there as they're side on. But at the moment, Crowell's is trying to go for that lower line. I don't know whether he feels, well, I'm at the back anyway, so let's keep on the damp stuff.
Yeah, he seemed to try and make it work, but it just looked like he got on the throttle a little bit too much there, and it just over-rotated it. Smith is the only mover in the field so far. He's actually gained 1 place from being third on the grid up into second, and he's chasing down Hesno. He looks quite consistent at the moment, does Smith, and to be fair, Hesno's doing the same, but I don't think that Smith's got it in him to just manage to sneak round once he gets into the straight. Hesno seems to go in quite sort of, he's a little bit deeper. He's in the middle line at the moment by the look of it. He's actually gone quite low that time, so I'll eat my words, but he's been high line for most of it, and then he gets a bit of an early exit, so he just sort of drops it off the throttle like that there, and then before you know it, he's sort of almost on the bottom line coming out of the corner, isn't he?
He is, and I'm just loving the Cole Trickle livery on the Hesno truck there at the front there from Days of Thunder. It looks absolutely brilliant. Now, he's starting to get tempted to go lower, so I wonder, seeing as he's the leader, whether he's starting to feel that it's not quite at its best at the top line there anymore, and it certainly has enabled Aaron Smith to close in on him there, the yellow number 70 truck, right up with him, and again, Hesno goes to the bottom line. Look at that, seeing the speeds that they're going around in. We might be talking about them not being at 100% throttle. Doesn't slow them down very much, though, does it? As they're taking this side on.
It's not
absolutely amazing.
It's not like they're just sort of sat there going in a straight line in a conventional manner. They're doing this at 45 degrees to the racing surface. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's not subtle, is it, that Aaron Smith racing truck either? It's a bright yellow thing. As Hesno leads us onto the final lap, then nearly contact. Very close, though. You know what? Smith might get a good run out of here and do this, you know, Chris. Look at the run round the outside.
It is at the moment, yes, and he's got the run and he's got the power down, but then it's the inside line for Hesno as he comes round trying to take advantage. Can he get the power down?
He's gone and done it.
No, oh, wow. So Smith just gets it at the end. I thought Hesno had just about done enough there.
Oh, just as he got the momentum, he managed to really squeeze it up against the wall, and Aaron Smith takes it straight away. We do hop immediately into the next one. We'll give the overlay a quick reload there because it loves the timing screen on the left, doesn't it? As Chris will also see. So we've got Donald Swanson on pole position for this one then, with Zach Yardley alongside him. He's in the Yardley Motorsport 691. We have British touring car driver Ant Wharton-Eales for AWE Motorsport in the number 11 truck, and Alistair Topley in the number 10. I believe that Alistair's actually taken Ant's number here, Chris, so I think Ant will want Alistair to at least do it justice, won't he?
He will, and that was one I didn't actually have the colour codes for that one, but it's nice and distinctive orange and black one on that one, isn't it? Or black and orange, whichever way you want to talk it. So yeah, impressive course truck as well at the front. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, it's a big beefy piece of kit, to be honest. It's not subtle.
That's how they explain you at times, isn't it?
Well, in the last year or so, maybe, but I used to be like a rake, so they'd probably be have me seen on the track sort of sorting the mud out beforehand, but yeah, now I'm the truck instead of the rake, so yeah, I'll remember that one.
Wait till you see me, you'll think, how can you possibly say that?
It's all good, I've seen your hairline. Zach Yardley's in second place then on the outside here in the 691. But, you know, even though we've only got 4 or 5 cars in these heats, or trucks, it's going to be still amazing racing as we've seen. You know, they're so close together. Everyone has an opportunity every single corner to get it right, get it wrong, carry a bit of momentum. And I think we're going to have a good one here as Swanson takes it down low, gets on the throttle then. He's got a clear run. Ant Wharton-Eales is going to be on the inside for Zach Yardley. And I tell you what, Chris, it seems that third place is the place to be at the moment because you're instantly on the inside line. The leader gets to go in front of you and open up the gap. It gives you a bit of free space, but And Wharton Eels, after I've said that, hasn't really made the most of it first time round.
No, and that means I got those two the wrong way around, because they kind of swap on that warm-up lap, don't they? Yeah, Wharton Eels in third there. And it looked to me as though Swanson kind of almost went a little bit too early there, but he's got away with it. The black and orange truck just romping clear. Hornblasters.com, as we can see, is the team there. And he's basically just got to keep himself there. However, the last time we saw that Guillaume Hesno did that, didn't he? And it didn't take that long, and it was just at the end that we saw Aaron Smith take the victory at the end. So Yardley and Wharton Eels, as long as they don't fight with each other, or contact there with Yardley with the wall, and that was Wharton Eels, wasn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never mind fighting amongst themselves. He's having a fight with the wall already, and he's more harm to himself than anybody else at the moment. He's still clipping the wall around there. Ant has a lot of experience in ovals as well. I'm not sure whether he's driven a NASCAR truck on dirt before, though, so we can let him off, really, because, let's face it, I don't think many people, even if they are on iRacing, have done the same. But he's really chucking it at the scenery at the moment.
It is unique, isn't it? That's for sure, this event. But I know that Alex Sedgwick, the boss, he was looking forward to this, because he finds it one of his favourites, sending us YouTube videos of it happening for real. This is the third tier of the NASCAR ladder that they actually get to do this. The only thing, and a little bit wild there for Topley. Do you know what? It means I got that completely wrong, because this is third and fourth that are having the fight. It means that Yardley in the 691 truck was Wharton Eels just making love to the wall there. That's a little bit too much. But he's just about got away with it, sort of scraping all the way down the length of it. But Yardley, being in no man's land in second, means he doesn't have to go defensive. He's able to focus on the back of that Swanson truck.
Yeah, he can just go about his business however he wants at this point. As long as he doesn't completely bin it, he should be absolutely fine. These boys are starting to have a bit of a battle amongst themselves, but Donald Swanson, well, he's got it swan song at the moment, hasn't he? He's absolutely just, like you said before, romping away with it is probably the best phrase to describe it, to be honest. We just noticed a second ago as well, if you look at these guys, where they go up just a bit too high, right into all the thick dirt that's been chucked up there, it was sort of dragging the truck towards the wall a little bit, wasn't it, as it was just sort of digging into the right tyres. It doesn't sort of let it slide very easily, you know, if that rear gets in a bit too deep, before the truck even hits the wall, you might see it again here around turn 1. But it just really starts to drag it in there. Look, you see, it sticks up there, doesn't it? Well, it really does if you hit the wall like that, Ant, but it's not going too smoothly.
And it's interesting, on the exit there, you see it starting to get a bit of a sheen. So at different parts on the circuit, we're seeing it now sort of baking from the heat from the racing tyres and the rubber going down on it as well. But, you know, if they pushing it out towards the edge there, is that they actually get a bit of a buffer eventually, like a bumper up against the wall. But at the moment, as you say, it's just that deep stuff that is just dragging them in there in an unpleasant way. And that is the victory. Wow, that last lap was quick.
Sorry. Yeah, just flies by, doesn't it? Donald Swanson then, for Hornblasters.com, takes the win, and Wharton Eels manages to hold them to third. And, well, it was a nice, simple, straightforward race for second place. A bit of no man's land, as you said. So on to the next heat, and another reload of the overlay, so the timing screen on the left doesn't hate us. And now we have the boss man, Alex Sedgwick for Vertex Esports, is at the front of this grid. Ben Kreener alongside him. These boys have had quite a lot of contact in the Vertex Stock Car Cup before now with each other, especially at Zolder, the last lap of a very long race. And Alex went for a move down the inside and put Ben off the circuit from the lead. And, well, payback time, do you reckon, Chris?
Well, Alex got the penalty from what I remember, so maybe you'll kind of think best not do. So I don't know, though. I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you're supposed to sort of bring that up about the boss, are you?
Oh, I don't know. I'll see how my paycheck looks afterwards. Jonathan Hill and Ivan Bauman's are on the back row of the grid, but only the second row of the grid. A lovely livery on that car, though. It's nice and bold, which is what we love to see. And I believe Ivan Bauman's car is covered in flames, and, you know, being an American truck on an American dirt circuit, what more could you want than that? It's full-on American flame truck. You know, it sort of sums this event up in a bit of a nutshell, really, doesn't it, if it was a livery?
It is. I mean, we've got the all black, the stealth Alex Sedgwick at the front there, and then it's sort of a turquoise, and then a black, white, and pink car, and then the black and flames. So everybody else behind is going the garish colours, and Alex is just trying to hide at the front there. Is he going to be able to do that as he comes around to take the start this time? On go the lights ready, and he's determined to get this, but a great start from Ben Kriener. He's going with him. He was the youngest when I was commentating on the American Speed Fest, 16 years old, taking part in the Euro NASCAR. He's done the old switcheroo. You knew I was going to say it eventually. And he's diving up towards the inside. You thought you were going to have to wait longer for it, didn't you?
I did.
Not a chance. It's straight out there because he tried it, but great job. Alex Sedgwick just kept his calm, didn't he? You see there, look at it. You can see that sheen line already starting to take shape up in the high line, which means that you're gradually going to see them have to move themselves down the track to keep their grips up. It really is counterintuitive, isn't it, for us minions?
Yeah, it certainly
I dragged
is.
you down with me on that one, didn't I? But, you know.
Well, yeah, it certainly is. I mean, you can see just how well they hold the slide up there, despite the amount of steering lock they're putting in. But you were saying before that Sedgwick was stealthy. I was expecting there to be nothing stealthy about Ben Kriener as usual. He's a very flamboyant racer to watch, as I'm sure you'll see in real life as well. But he stuck with him at the start there. He's the first guy that started from second place that hasn't lost that position at the start. He kept it nice and low, squeezed Alex down, and he's managed to keep it up there with him. But it's a bit of a stable chase at the moment here as we're on board with Jonathan Hill, and Kriener and Sedgwick just sort of showing the pace at the front at the moment, aren't they?
They are, but you just feel as we're on board with Jonathan Hill there at Revolution Satellite Racing that he's kind of almost in the grandstand seat watching these two, thinking there's a bit of love going on up there that could get a bit rambunctious and could just suddenly knock one of them back out towards the wall. And we've seen it in the early stages, and already they're now they're looking more like they're munging, if any of you drifters are watching, as they go round that corner there. And there it is. There's a bit of the contact, but Alex manages to keep out of the wall, but through goes Kriener that time. That was going to happen. How much has it slowed them down? We're waiting to see where the hill's closing. He still looks like he's biding his time to me.
Yeah, and Alex has gone down the inside and he's made it work, with that mistake from Kriener on the high line. Ben just tried to hold the slide and it just pointed the nose towards him as he found a bit of grip down low. Jonathan Hill, though, is gradually closing up front. Kriener still holds the lead. Whether Jonathan can do anything about it, though, you never know. It might be a bit of a waiting game here, actually, Chris, just to see if they do that again, wouldn't it?
It is. That's what I say. He's in the grandstand seat, and I just think that he's got that on his radar that they could tap each other out. But we're on that 8 of 10 already. Such is the speed of these heats that it's probably now past that stage, wouldn't you say? That he's going to think, well, now I'm going to have to throw it up there and see whether I can do something about this. Yeah,
well, he's only got 2 more opportunities. Ivan Bauman's has dropped down a little bit, unfortunately. The flame car not quite lighting up the timing screens today. But Ben Kriener, he's done a good job to hold the lead from there, because it's a lot of pressure to be under with Sedgwick behind you as he sends it down the inside again. But at that point, when you see that, I mean, I've not watched a lot of dirt oval racing, but when you see that, you think he's made that work, and he actually has that time. But, when you see someone go down the inside, you think instantly, oh, he's through. Why wouldn't you always go on the inside? But when you see the pace that the guys can carry up top and just get it turned in, once they've got it pitched in and, got it straightened up on the exit, it's pretty fine. Kriener's gone down low again, though. Cedric's going to try and hold on the outside. There's more contact again. Cedric's still going to take the win, though. That was feisty stuff from the two of them. And I tell you what, Ben, like I said before, nothing stealthy about it. There's going to be a big Kriener-shaped hole in the side of Cedric's door. But, yeah, he's done all right there. And now it's the big one. It's the 50-lap feature race here now, Chris. This is going to be absolutely balmy if them heats are anything to go by.
Goodness me, I mean, that is just incredible. I was told that this was going to be good, but I have to say it's probably even better than I thought. So Aaron Smith managed to get pole position in the bright yellow number 70. He's got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. The big yellow bumblebee, as I call it, with Donald Swanson alongside him. Cedric and Hesno make up a very interesting row 2. Yardley and Kriener row 3, with Mills and Wharton-Eales on row 4. Jonathan Hill and Billy Fletcher round out your top 10, with Alistair Topley and Ivan Bauman's on row 6. And then on his own at the back is Brian Crowles. So, well, 50 laps now, not just the 10, but a big 50. Usually in these sorts of races, you do get a bit of a runaway winner effect sometimes, but the heats have proved that that's not always the case, even within a 10-lap period. So do you reckon that we're going to see a lot of mixing about here, Chris, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a stable affair?
Not a chance. You are staging that question. You know the answer to that one, don't you? I mean, At the end of the day, as you say, we've seen it already. Plus, we've still got the way that this track is going to evolve. We were seeing it between the 3 heats that we were starting to get more of that sheen, that was just compromising them, starting to push some of them down to the lower line. Certainly in that Heat 3, it was looking to me as though they were getting a lot more off of that low line. So I think that it's going to change during the course of 50 laps. Remember, if there is a caution, those laps don't count. The lap count stops basically at that stage, and so we get even more in effect. And I just don't know. There's too many chapters to write about this.
There are, and we're just about to get going then for the feature race. Aaron Smith lights it up, steps the rear out, and gets on with it now. That's the last time you're going to see this thing going in a straight line. Oh, there's contact behind. That was Guillaume Hesno. He got a bit of a touch there. I think it was Zach Yardley that just gave him a tap in the 691. Oh, Crean is in the wall as well up there. It's already kicking off here, Chris. It's absolutely mayhem. But not too many position changes down the order. Ant Morton-Eels is really sticking to that low line, though. We'll go on board and just see what madness this looks like in front of you. I'll tell you what, you couldn't write that, could you?
Yeah, I think what's the phrase that they go with? You can't win it on the first corner, but you can certainly lose it. And there's some that desperately tried to lose it. And look at this as we get this absolute pack. A little bit of contact there, a little bit further back. Ant Morton-Eels just tapping, and it has tapped the number 7 Connor Mills, hasn't it, into various other people.
Oh,
and
Ben
here we
Creaner
go. We're
got
going to get the
involved.
first yellow. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it
going
has.
to be okay. Morton-Eels that just got span out there, and he's at the back of his field. The good news is it doesn't matter too much, does it?
No, it's not lost him too much time. It wasn't a massive impact. That probably wasn't the best camera view to show you guys that one on again. Oh, apparently, we're going to get a lot of things on our timing screen now that say someone's crashed because of the fact that they're all going under a certain speed threshold, which tells me that. So Connor Mills and Morton-Eels made the contact. Creaner was on the outside. Mills went into him, bounced off him, hit Fletcher, and then Fletcher went back into Morton-Eels and then the wall. So big domino effect there.
It was just waiting to happen, wasn't it? In fairness, you just saw the sort of the skittles were starting to bounce backwards and forwards there, and they did well to keep it that long. The good news is that, as I say, this, and I'm assuming that's happening. I can't quite see the lap count at the top there, but it stops the lap counting, which is what we want to see. There we go,
Yes.
4 out of 50 still. So, and Fletcher's gone into the pits, I see.
Yeah, Billy might have had... Oh, yeah, he's taken a fast repair there, so it repairs everything on the truck pretty much instantly.
Okay.
The whole body got bent in at multiple angles with that hit against the wall and then having other cars in there. Interestingly enough, the only cars that haven't changed position are actually the top 5. So Smith, Swanson, Sedgwick, Hesno and Yardley are all still in the same position that they started in. Brian Crowles has gained 4 places at the moment in the Brex Racing truck, so he's having a fine old time from the back of the grid, isn't he?
Yeah, although I thought that Yardley had moved up there, but I was too busy trying to write things down as I'm sort of feeling my way through this works, ably led by your good self there, Chaz. But
well, to be fair, I didn't know it wrapped around like that every time they all crossed the line either, so we're even on that front, I can tell you that.
Well, I was trusting you that you didn't panic, so you were okay about it, but... So Ben Creaner down in 8th place in the turquoise truck. That's interesting. Hill we've seen getting involved at the pointy end. Ant Morton-Eels. Now he's managed to sort of not be right at the end of the field as we're getting ready to get the race back underway, and it is the bright yellow number 70 of Aaron Smith that gets the whole shot at the moment. But look at that, he's got 2 trying to go underneath him. One of those is the number 9 truck of Alex Sedgwick, and the bright yellow and green of, that's Guillaume Hesno as well, trying to get involved, isn't it? But
yeah,
and we've got Swanson in the is that the black and orange is Swanson, isn't it? The front row starter. It's just, goodness me, I mean, it really is every man for himself.
It really is, it's crazy. What we'll do is we'll take a little look on the blimp cam as well, just so you can see all the different lines that these guys are taking. If we look at Ben Creaner in the middle, look at all the trucks around him, how they all overlap once they go into the corner and off the corner. Bit of a tap there from Alistair Topley on the back of Connor Mills. Just around the outside of Connor is Zach Yardley, and more contact as they go into turn 1. Alistair Topley's really on the low line now. They're 2 by 2 at the top. Nearly hits Connor Mills again. But this is the thing, Chris, you know, if you get it wrong on a lower line and you wash up just like Alistair's done there, and into Connor and into Brian, Brian's work's been undone and collected.
Wow.
I think that
he's
was
over.
Yeah, he rolled it completely.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, it was Jonathan Hill there that got caught up with him as well, and we've got another caution out, unfortunately.
Again, do you know what? I think it's again now, unless it may have been Connor Mills, because obviously they're in the identical livery, but I've certainly seen, you see the 2 of them in the same shot there, that they've been clobbered inadvertently. Oh, and that was the number 10 truck there of Alistair Topley, a late addition to this in the orange and blue truck, was the one that was just sort of, I don't know whether to say the cause of that. I always feel bad saying that, but he certainly had a lot to do with it, should we say.
Oh yeah, he ran it wide, hit Zach Yardley. Oh, he didn't quite, and then he just got a tap from Connor, who then hit Brian. Connor got his sort of just desserts there as Brian went backwards into him, but yeah, huge hit, unfortunately. And we're 8 laps down, 2 cautions in, so plenty
Not
of...
even a fifth of race distance yet, and we've had the 2 cautions and racing close. I mean, the top 4 there were having a fantastic fight, weren't they? But just about Aaron Smith in the, what do you call it, the Bumblebee, was just about holding off Donald Swanson, the Cole Trickle yellow and green livery of Guillaume Hesno, number 68, just behind him, and the boss, Alex Sedgwick, number 9. He's got the outside line over Hesno as it stands at the moment, but I think that the track is changing quite dramatically now.
Yeah, some of these guys seem to be noticing that you can take the lower line and have it work for you as long as you get it hooked up properly on the exit. Because we've seen a few of them try it, and they really, really start to lose it and go sideways. And, you know, 650 brake horsepower on dirt is crazy enough. I mean, I know some of the top-end winged dirt sprint cars have 800 plus brake horsepower, which is just mind-blowing. But these things aren't supposed to be on dirt. That's the difference. You know, nearly 700 horsepower is still a scary amount when you've not got a solid road surface underneath you. But we're going to go green again, despite Smith probably hoping it stays yellow because his car's yellow, and he gets a good launch there. Hesno's going to be down the inside of Swanson here. Whether he can make it work, we'll have to see. He goes very deep into turn 1. That's probably one of the deepest lines. He only hits the wall on the exit. He actually does hit the wall on the exit, and he's surely going to lose out to Sedgwick there, and yeah, he does. So didn't go too well on the restart for him there, Chris.
No, and in fact, Connor Mills was nearly going to sort of take advantage of that as well, and it just compromised him, and he love-tapped the wall on the outside there. Ben Kriener in the turquoise is now trying to have a look. The number 38 truck does indeed get up the inside of Connor Mills, so Connor Mills back down into 6th place, but coming back at him already, and look at the Hunter there. Then we just see Anton Walter-Niels after that spin out in the early stages, the first caution. You know that we talk about him being, he's been the mini champion and racing in touring cars, but my goodness, in these quarter-mile or half-mile ovals, he is absolutely amazing on them, and he's really showing it again there.
Yeah, he certainly is. I think, Jonathan...
We just lost the image there.
Yeah, Jonathan Hill's just had a bit of an incident. Oh, something's just gone awry here. Bear with me 2 seconds. There we go, we should have it back now. Fingers crossed. No, we're just having a bit of an issue with the connection here, by the look of it. This is the wonderful side of broadcasting directly from iRacing. We've got it back. Do you see it, Chris? You all good?
I can, yes, we can, and it is still the bright yellow, so nothing changed. No matter what we tried to do for the rest of the field there, is we still come back and find that Aaron Smith's in the lead, but my goodness, the black and orange 44 of Swanson is all over him. Now, I'm trying to tell, have those two made a mini breakaway? I think they have, you know.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap there, nearly a second actually to Sedgwick, so apologies for the little drop in the connection there, everybody. You know what the internet's like. It's lockdown. Everyone's using it.
Exactly.
Connor Mills doesn't have a straight panel on that truck, actually. I was just having a quick look at it a second ago. Looks like there's bullet holes in the side of it. He's really... it's like he's been on a run through Alabama or something in that thing. Really don't know what's going on with it, but he seems to have bounced it off every single surface, including some of his competitors so far. But it's a good old boat, but it still goes, and Ivan Bauman's has caused a yellow.
Oh, dear. Yeah, okay, so the flames is lit up there, and let's have a look at that. It just got that over sideways, and he's gone towards the end. I mean, I don't know how these guys are doing it, I must be honest, is that it just looks like they're, I mean, again, I'm going to quote Days of Thunder, on the edge of out of control. They're kind of past that edge of out of control in this, aren't they? Goodness me.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's a bit of a mad one when, you know, the tiniest little bit of throttle over what you need can just chuck it completely around like that. And, you know, it can ruin your race, little moments like that. But hopefully, because of these cautions, Ivan doesn't lose out too much. He's been given the wave around, so he gets to catch back up. Brian Krauls is in the pits, and that is not a... It's not showroom spec, is it, that Toyota?
Oh, and he certainly... well, suddenly you saw it reshape there.
Yeah.
That was a great image, that was. It would be good if we could see that in real life. It just suddenly popped out and was full length all of a sudden. That was good to see. So, in other words, that suggests to me, and this is a naive question that's good for me to know, is that they clearly do feel the effects of the damage on the trucks.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Even in something with as light damage as we could see from some of these guys, it does make all the difference. If you've banged it off the wall and, you know, just caught a wheel, it can sort of step your tracking out, ruin your suspension, even things like that. You know, not so obvious to us immediately from a visual perspective, But these guys will feel that, and especially when you need as much lock as you've got here, these guys are putting nearly 900 degrees of lock to the right on in most cases, so we're going to be seeing them need every little inch of that. Well, Aaron Smith, I'll tell you what, he's doing a grand job at the moment leading this, isn't he?
He is, and I noticed we've lost actually Jonathan Hill, the 84 car, the one of the two blue, white, and pink cars. Oh, there he is. He is at the back, but
yeah, he's a lap down now.
One lap down. Okay, so that was probably just sort of all catching up as well. But here we go. We're about to go racing, and unsurprisingly, Aaron Smith has not hung around. He's got that going as quickly as possible. He's right up into that dirty line at the far edge of the circuit there, and he's actually got away with that quite well, hasn't he? Ben Kriener is now up into third place by the looks of it, although Sedgwick's dived towards the inside at the moment, and it is what's the song? Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, he really was in that scenario as well. I mean, he wouldn't know where to look, to be honest. Cedric's trying to make that bottom line work. Zach Yardley just had a bit of an issue there. Just going to have a quick look back at it as he comes out of turn 1 and 2. Look at all this stuff being kicked up there. But he just kisses the wall on the exit because he just corrects it and it gets out of shape and then gives it a big tap and it drags him along all the way around and he slots back in behind Wharton Eels.
It does, wasn't it? That it got him stuck right there. But out front, Aaron Smith, number 70, as they're now managing round this bend again. Cross the line they go to complete the 17th lap, because that tells us they're on the 18th lap on the thing up there. He says, hoping that he's getting that right.
He is.
I just went confidently so that you'd go with me either way. And that was a bit of contact with the wall because we saw the sparks. Our leader, Aaron Smith, but it hasn't really compromised him there as he's now able to still stick on that outside line. It's not changing quite as quick as we were expecting, is it?
No, some of them are hanging it out. You know, they're keeping the front end in that shiny surface. You can see it there just on the inside. It wants to really... Oh, I'll tell you what, it does really hang it out there for Swanson. There's another yellow out. And we have Billy Fletcher in a little bit of a difficult situation on the back straight. I was just going to say there, though, Aaron Smith is driving this car around there like it's a bumper car connected to the ceiling. There's just sparks everywhere as he flies around. It's absolutely amazing. I want to just go back and have a quick look at it because watch Aaron round here. Once he comes through turn 1 again here, it's just lit up all the way around. There's sparks everywhere. He's just driving it along the wall. Look at it. It's absolutely amazing. Sparks flying all over the shop. And even from the onboard that we had from Donald Swanson, you can see them as he goes around. You'll just see him bouncing off the windscreen, bouncing off everything. It's just awesome. Not quite the orthodox line for Swanson, though, was it?
It wasn't. I mean, and you saw the front bodywork on that car just sort of like pop up a little bit. So they need to be careful. They're not going to do too much damage. We've seen at least a couple of them dip into the pits to get the damage repaired. So they do need to be wary. Tyres and fuel is not a consideration in this race, so they don't need to worry about that. There is no pits required for that side of things, allegedly at least. But clearly the bodywork damage and whatever else can affect it, and if necessary, they've got to make a decision. Right, am I going to lose more by staying out, or am I going to lose more by dipping in? But
yeah,
the front two, they're not going to want to be dipping in, are they? So they need to be careful of that wall. Yeah,
yes, they do. It's like I said before, they can very easily get dragged up into it as they sort of drop the right-hand wheels into the wall, into the dirt. Where the grip suddenly starts, it very suddenly stops as well, don't forget. So they have to be very careful with every single inch of this, and a lot of the time these guys have got the rear of the car hanging out further than the front. You've got to bear that in mind. They're not really looking straight at where they're going. So
I have after this lockdown as well, I must be honest.
I'll leave that with you. Kriener tries to go down the inside of Sedgwick. He's going to try that low line now. He's thinking, I saw you boys do this. Connor Mills is in the wall. Hesno's had a bit of contact there as well.
He's got away with it though, hasn't he, Hesno? Because that looked like he was about to be spun round with between Connor Mills and I'm not sure who was below him, but
I think it's Yardley.
He's just about got away with it, hasn't he? Jonathan Hill's just behind, and on the inside is what's that?
That's
the 69
Yardley.
car.
Yeah, 691. Okay. Connor Mills is being hung out to dry. Oh, and he's really been hung out to dry. He's been put in the wall. Look at Billy Fletcher. He's down the inside really deep. He's backwards, and that's going to be another caution. Billy Fletcher says, oh, hang on, boys. This is getting a bit out of hand here. I'm just going to chuck it around in a circle for you. There's a yellow. But, wow, Connor Mills. This was a bit rough with Connor Mills. Let's just have a quick look at him. So we've got Hesno on his inside there. He's very close to the wall, holding it up high. This truck's already very damaged. The back of it's almost like a V shape. He hits the wall there. The spark's flying. And then he has to get out of the way of Hesno. Hits the wall again. and then he gets a tap off Yardley, and then he goes in the wall again. So never ending for Connor Mills. He's going to be thinking...
Circumstantial, though, wasn't it, I think, looking at that. You know, they were just bouncing off each other. But, yeah, there's a reasonable amount of damage there, which goes to show the two that dipped into the pits, just how damaged they must have been. Although I've got to be honest and say, other than that one corner, our leader's looking rather pristine, isn't he? He's like the footballer that comes in with no dirt on his kit. And you're thinking, did you try hard? Well, he has at the moment because he's out front, so you can't knock it. It's the best way to be. And we've got the wave round there by the looks of it for the number 10 truck. That's Alistair Topley. He's down there at the back of the field, isn't he? He's just ahead of the 84 of Jonathan Hill that I thought briefly had disappeared, but he is still at the back of this. And,
styling it out,
pushing
though.
He's pushing it on this, isn't he?
Not hanging about. It's good fun, though. You know, you've got to make the most of every single lap if you're going to enjoy it and have a bit of a drift. Drifting isn't something in iRacing that you can do very often. They do come under a bit of scrutiny sometimes, right? So we're not going to go into that too much at the moment. But yeah, on the dirt, it's a good laugh. So, you know, if you've got the opportunity to do it, and it's broadcasted as well. So, you know, Alistair's just been on YouTube for a few minutes, just drifting around and having fun. But we're going to get going again. Smith does another gorgeous restart, keeps it nice and smooth. And typically in the middle here, Connor Mills is going to try and go for it down the inside. Kriener just hanging it on the outside of him there as well, with Guillaume Hesno in the middle, stuck in the middle again. Alex Sedgwick's trying to push Kriener through. You've got Yardley behind him. And this is really good stuff at the moment from Connor Mills. He's making this work, but Hesno's saying, look, mate, if you're just a little bit higher up the track, you can go a bit quicker. Look, I've made it work. And here I go, up into third place. Now Kriener and Sedgwick are on his inside. They're going to make big contact. That's a huge hit from Kriener. Somehow we stay yellow. No, we don't. We're going to go into a yellow here, surely. Yep, and Hesno's around.
Wow.
Contact with Mills. He was lucky it didn't go over completely, to be honest, wasn't he? That was...
Red face racing, and he's probably red face, not out of embarrassment, I'd imagine. He's a bit frustrated there. He got kind of molested there by the wayward, the errant turquoise car of Ben Kriener. And not, you know, it wasn't deliberate, clearly. He just went sliding out of this track as it's starting to change during the course of this. We're still not seeing the slick line we were expecting to see, but that looks to me as though, is there a couple of them that were aiming for the pits there? Maybe.
I think they may have come in the lap after, but Walton Hills has got damage to the engine there. The smoke coming out the back of the car.
Oh, yeah.
He got smacked in the rear by Alistair Topley as well, because if we just have a quick look back at it, where Guillaume has no crash, we'll jump on board with Walton Hills very, very quickly in this. So he's just minding his own business. He sees it all kick off in front. He's got out of it. That's Billy Fletcher coming through. He tries to get out of the way, and then he gets a smack in the rear as well at the same time. So that's not going to do him any favours. And he's just banged it into the pit lane quite literally at the moment. Whether he's going to take a fast repair or not, I'm not sure. I think he might have had one before, because he's already been in the pits once. So fingers crossed. Hesno's back out with a shiny new truck. There you go. If only it was that easy, eh? I imagine if you're not on a budget, it probably could be that easy. You just go to the dealer and say, "Oi, Toyota, give me a new one." Well, Chevrolet in this case. But our two leaders, though, are the only two people now that are still where they started. That's it's quite a good feat, that, to be honest, considering how much is going on behind them.
Yeah, and it's not like they're getting it their own way. I mean, they're having massive fights amongst themselves. I think at one point they managed to build up a little bit of a lead, but the rest of the time they've had Alex Sedgwick, Ben Kriener, Guillaume Hesno, just to name a few that were sort of pecking away at them as it stands, and they keep getting dragged back into the cautions. What are we at now? Something like 5 cautions so far, I think it is. And we're ready to go, and there we go again. Aaron Smith gets the hammer down. He certainly isn't dozing when we're under the yellow flags at the moment, is he? He's got away. Ben Kriener's now trying to make a move towards second. Not quite pulling it off at the moment. Alex Sedgwick, therefore, is trying to get well and truly involved. Him and his nemesis, Ben Kriener, in effect side by side. But just ahead, Swanson in that black and orange car truck. Sorry, I'm falling into your habit there. Was sort of under massive pressure, but now suddenly these guys are getting tangled up with each other so much that has enabled not just the leader but the Swanson to get away as well. Alex Sedgwick dives towards the inside. That's going to be really trying to pull that one off, and it is getting quicker down there now. Look,
we've got another yellow as well.
Oh, is it? And I missed that. I was so excited by what Alex was doing.
I think Billy Fletcher's had another issue here. Let's have a quick look at Billy. So around the outside of him there, that was Zach Yardley. Oh, Zach just comes down, yeah, and Billy, none the wiser, gets hit, spun around. Don't really think it was yellow worthy. I think he was a bit slow, but, you know, he didn't stop dead on the circuit, so maybe a bit of a sensitive yellow there from iRacing, but either way, it gives Aaron Smith another chance to... Yeah. Gives Aaron another chance to make sure that his truck is definitely still yellow in the mirror. And it gives Donald Swanson another chance to think, I can't deal with another dent on the back of this truck, so you just fight amongst yourselves. But I tell you what, though, these two at the front are doing an amazing job. I'm very very impressed. Kriener and Sedgwick are leading the absolute rabble behind. That's got just, I mean, look at the state of some of these. You've got Connor Mills' truck, which has got no straight panels on it. Brian Crowell's has been pounded in. And then you've got Guillaume Hesno as well. The back end of that's been bent up. It's like it's got 2 rear wings on it. Zach Yardley's been on every single barrier. You can see all the mud as well. He's been following people that closely. It's got mud up the front of it. Alistair Topley, he's had a bit of a rough and tumble race as well after starting quite near the front, but he can't quite make his way back up the order again, it seems. So
rough and tumble race. I'm impressed you've managed to even camp up dirt racing.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not going to delve into that.
No, don't. I'm going to save you now. I'm going to keep talking. Is that I was impressed to see that Sedgwick and Kriener not just leading the rabble behind, they're rabble rising, because they're the sort of like the cheerleaders of the mayhem that's behind these front two. And those two are just trying desperately to keep their powder dry. And it is another good start by our leader, Aaron Smith, but not quite as dominant as last time, because the second place car, the black and orange car of Swanson, went with him this time, didn't he? And again, mayhem behind. And Kriener's gone low to try and steer away from it as much as anything, I think.
It's just like an accordion effect, honestly. We go to the chopper cam again, and just look at this. Cedric goes down the inside then. You think at this point, oh, he's made that. Well done, mate. And then Kriener's going to go, no, I've got the run. Cedric says, here, here's the back end of my truck. Try and hit it again, see what happens. They're just getting so involved. You can see that slick line, though, and Kriener's slipped up wide into the wall. Luckily, manages to keep it under control, but that means Cedric's pretty much definitely got third, or has he? This is dirt racing. Of course he hasn't. There goes Kriener through on the inside. Once again,
that incredible that it was that downhill slope, wasn't it? What, they 24-degree banking on the corners to 8 degrees on the straight, and we got another yellow.
Zach Yardley this time. To be fair, I mean, Zach Yardley's been involved in so many incidents so far this race. I'm surprised he hasn't been the one that's been stopped on the circuit. So we'll have another look at what happened to him. He's got Topley in front and Crowells. Oh, Crowells gets into Mills. Oh, they turn Hesno. Then he bounces off the front into the wall.
That Big was, I mean, talk about an innocent bystander there. Bless him, the 69 truck. 691, sorry, of Zach Yardley. That was nothing to do with him. He's dived into the pits, unsurprised, and that was a big hit by the trucks, a big hit by the wall as well. And that was the three of them getting tangled up with each other. And it looks like Guillaume's gone into the pits as well. Hesno, the green and yellow truck. Now, he's been in at least once before as well, hasn't he? So that's not going to be a quick fix based on what you were saying. If they've been in before, is that what you said?
Especially if he does that as well. That's a way to enter your pit box. Lock up the rears, boys. I need some new ones on it. I don't think there's enough pixels in the world on my... well, I don't think my graphics card's powerful enough to put enough tape on the front of that card to fix that, to be honest with you, because that is in an absolute mess. It's covered in mud and different... It's got so much vinyl on it from other people's trucks and paint and bits of concrete and mud. It's just like a bad paper mache that your kids made on lockdown. So I don't think they're going to be looking to fix that anytime soon. Hesno and Yardley, though, are in the pits. Ivan Bauman's his last car that's running, but he is with the pack, at least, in the 268. That looks relatively clean compared to the rest of the cars, so he must have been in for a repair. Just ahead of him is Jonathan Hill, who we saw go down the order a bit early on. But now Cedric's back up to third, with Ben Kriener alongside him. It means that the top three are now the guys that haven't changed position from where they started, but I'm sure we'll see that change again. We're going to go back on the chopper cam, because I quite enjoyed that one for the restart last time. And we'll see what sort of overlaps we get here then, shall we, Chris? As Smith is about to drop it, and off he goes. There you go. He's just great at these restarts.
He is, but I've got to be honest and say Swanson's getting better every single time by the looks of it, and he's stuck with him. And in fact, so has Cedric and Kriener just behind him. We know that Cedric and Kriener know how to do this in the real world. And it looks that even around here, they're just getting closer and closer to them. There is no eking away from the lead two as it stands at the moment, but what they'll hope is that everybody will get involved. And Connor Mills in the number 7 blue, white and pink truck nearly got up close and personal with... we got another one over here.
Yeah, I think Alistair Topley, he just had a bit of a tap there. Billy Fletcher got involved in that one. Alistair Topley at the top, well, ironically, at the top of the circuit there, he just loses it, gets hit by Wart Neals, and then Billy Fletcher goes in as well, unfortunately, and into the wall. So I think the phrase rough and tumble is probably still ringing true, to be honest. But yeah, it's been a bit of a destruction derby at the minute, but it's entertaining though, isn't it? You know, these guys are probably all laughing their heads off as well. We did say we were going to have a quick chat with Alex Sedgwick, but we're in a separate call on the Discord server, unfortunately, so we can't drag him in for a chat, but we'll interview him afterwards, and I imagine Alex will just have a big smile on his face while this is going on, because it's got to be really entertaining from in the cockpit, hasn't it?
It has to be, and I mean, this is why they sort of set this one up as a standalone fun event, as opposed to the Stock Car Championship and the GT Championship they've got, or the Sports Car Championship they've got coming up soon as well. This is a standard. I've got to be honest and say that this is in Ohio, this circuit. I'm finding it suddenly being added to my bucket list for the real world as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It'll be a right good laugh to go and watch some racing.
Big crowds judging from the YouTube videos as well.
Yeah, it's a good amount of people in. I'm sorry, everybody, that I'm not reading out your comments at the moment. We've got a bit more to focus on. Usually I'm quite attentive to the comments. I'm going to use the excuse that the laptop that I usually use to do so at the moment is out of service this evening, unfortunately. So technology, as you can tell by the drop in internet before, is definitely on my side tonight. But to be fair, Chris and I have got the stream working, so I think that's a win for us on that point.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. And I appreciate all the hand-holding you're having to do as well, in fairness, because I'm still sort of getting myself up to speed with the way all of this works. I've done a number of other sim commentary while I'm being forced to not enter the commentary box in the real world at the moment, and I'm loving it. But this is the first time I've worked with you guys. Awesome job that you put on.
Thank you, mate.
It's a great show. Genuinely, it really is. Green flag is off, and that wasn't... I couldn't tell for a second there. That was just a slight lag there, wasn't it? That we couldn't tell whether Smith got the great start. Swanson is getting swallowed up a little bit there by Kriener and Sedgwick. Sedgwick was the first one to have a crack. He is now looking back up the inside there. Kriener's just washing out a little bit there. We're starting to get a few tetchy situations where they're suddenly turning right in left-hand corners. That's not what you want to do.
There's no into Kriener. Good avoidance on the exit, but another caution. Contact with Antwater Niels. And that was the tiniest of touches that caused that. But Ben Kriener now has engine damage as well, so... Despite all the contact he's had so far and survived, it seems that is the straw that broke the camel's back in this instance.
And that was the tap from the Guillaume Hesno truck, wasn't it? The number 68, the yellow and green. And as you say, just at the worst possible point on the corner when they're just absolutely hanging everything out round the corner there. Just that slightest sneeze on the right on the corner there, and it just spun him right round. And that was it then. Collected a couple of others just for good measure. And that said, we've seen them coming back up through this order. Hesno being one of those prime examples. He's been in twice to get repairs, and suddenly he's up there fighting with Ben Kriener. So Ben Kriener can still expect to come back up through this field again.
Yeah, it shows you how quickly it can turn around in these events. You know, on a short track where there's so many cautions. I mean, we saw it at Martinsville in the Vertex Stock Car Cup. We had quite a lot of cautions, and some of the guys that at some point were down in like 28th, 29th place, if they got a pit stop at the right time and came back out again under a caution, avoided a few incidents, they'd be back in the top 5 before you know it, and you're thinking, hang on, where's he come from? It's just an amazing moment. It's great to see all the mud actually rendering on the front of these things. If we go to Aaron Smith and look back from the gearbox, you can see all the absolute cack up the front of Sedgwick's car. You can barely read that it's the number 9, but the dirt and everything, just the way it's rendered in iRacing, looks so natural and very beautiful. So it's a great service to have, and these guys are making the most of it, to say the least. And as you can tell, everybody, we're going under lights here at the moment. We're on lap 32 out of 50, so nearly towards the end now. But the sun is going down, and we are getting a floodlit race. Aaron Smith doesn't need floodlights, though, in that very bright yellow machine. He's going to get it going again. He goes a little bit earlier this time and then manages it again so well. Swanson stays with him, like you say, Chris. He's been getting better at those. The sheen is really starting to appear there on that outside line, and it looks like Smith's had to straighten the truck up a bit there, so Swanson could get a run, but he's got to think about Sedgwick. And Brian Crowles, don't forget, he started at the back of the grid in 13th place. He's up to 4th position now, and he's charging for a win. He's thinking, go on, let's just go all out and have this, boys.
Well, and the number 10 truck of Topley sat there as well now, isn't he? And he's kind of worked his way through. He was involved in other people's incidents in the early stages, in for repairs. So those two have done a fabulous job. And you've still got Hesno there in the 68 green and yellow truck. He's been in twice and he's worked his way through. So you are able to just play it cool, Trig, play it cool. Connor Mills at the back of that gackle as it stands at the moment. out front, our leader has actually got a bit of daylight between himself and second place. It's not just the front two that have run away. We just got a little bit wild there. Wow, look at that. What a camera.
It's not very helpful around the corners to show the gap, but look at it as another yellow comes out. Come on, boys. Who's gone round this time? Connor Mills and Outwater Eels have come to strife. It's Connor Mills on the outside. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. Oh, there's an incident in front. Kreener, Fletcher. Oh, Wharton Eels gets straight into that one. Let's have a quick look at what happened, because Ben Kreener was at the beginning of that accident. Oh, he just loses it on his own. I thought he might have had a tap or slowed up in front. Loses it on his own. Fletcher's been in so many incidents tonight as just an innocent party. Oh, Mills is around as well, actually. Mills is round separately. Let's have a look. Is he going to get a tap off Hesno? He is. Yeah, we've seen Hesno doing that a few times tonight, haven't we? I said it in the in his heat as well. He starts up quite high and he tries to get the run off the corner by coming down a little bit, but some of the guys are getting caught out by that, and it's just spinning him around because obviously all the weight of their engine at the front, it's not quite enough to turn him around. If he's got the momentum, you know, they're just bouncing off, aren't they? So he's getting a bit of an easy ride in those incidents, but you never know, he may get turned around at some point.
Yeah, well, probably, I hate to say it, but he probably deserves to be, doesn't he? If you're going to come diving down there straight across the nose of someone, then those noses are getting put out of joint and it may come back to bite him somewhere along the line. But yeah, I think Wharton Eels is in the pits again. You could see as he tried to get going, unsurprisingly with the multiple hits there, is that the engine was smoking away. So he's come in to get that one sorted. It's going to be a longer repair, hopefully still going to come out. And that's what I like about this. You get some of the races where they kind of the toys are thrown out and they go forget it and they're out. But you can still get back involved in this on the half-mile dirt track.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's one of those great scenarios where you can just chuck it back out at the circuit and hope for the best. And Aaron Smith's going to do that again now as we come on to lap 36 out of 50. Lights it up, and this is a really good start this time from Swanson. Still not even a truck's length away. But just the way that Aaron can command the car around around the first corner is just, that space in front of him is just so vital. And especially in dirt racing, that's why you do get that runaway. Oh, Cedric down the inside of Swanson. I thought they were going to make contact. Kreener's running wide up there in the middle. Around the outside of him is Brian Krauls, who touches the wall. Hesno's on the inside. Topley's trying to come through as well. This is so close. Kreener and Krauls make contact. It's easy for me to say. Kreener makes more contact, and with Topley, and in with the wall. And oh, that's a huge hit there. That was Connor Mills going into him. And then, oh, no. Ivan's son. Oh, no, mate. That was... What a shame for Ivan. Look at this.
I had nowhere to go, officer.
Yeah, he's minding his own business and he's on dirt. It's just going to float. He slams on the brakes.
Well, it kind of backs up a point that I was about to make. Is looking at all of them across the board, this is looking very, very slippy now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you just saw Aaron Smith's driver there, soaring at the wheel in the truck. But with the sparks flying up out the rear, he doesn't give a toss, does he? He's absolutely launching this thing around. I mean, watch him around here. He just lets it slide up. He waits and waits and waits, gets in the throttle, and he just holds it up there. And we've got Ben Kreener back in the pit lane after another incident. Connor Mills has actually had another one by the look of it. Oh, he's got damage to the engine.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether Ant's managing to get back out again, actually, you know, because he's now 3 laps down. He's not managed to come back out again. So, yeah.
Oh, boys. Oh, Ben. That's what brought the caution out. The two of them had engine damage, and they thought, I'm going to go back in. And then we're met with that, unfortunately. But, yeah, like you say, Ant Wharton Eels, we'll have a quick look now. He's still sat in the pits there. That's just, it's like a scrapyard. If you've got a Chevy dealership down the road, you're going to make a killing, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a feeling that that's too much damage now for Ant, sadly. But hopefully Connor Mills and Ben Kreener will make it back out again. But our leader, he's not going to give a monkeys, is he?
No.
he's just going to... But he is probably getting more and more wary that Donald Swanson, just behind him in the 44 black and orange truck, is getting closer every time. I still have a suspicion that Alex Cedric is just biding his time. He understands all about this, you know, the way that the track evolves. You know, he was informing us from a commentary perspective before all of this. That means he knows it as a driver.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. When you've got the experience with stuff like this, you know what to expect. And when a sim translates it really well as well, the way iRacing does, you know, the way the circuit feels and develops is so realistic that he can take any sort of reference that he's had from real world racing, and if he can visually tell what's going to happen from his sim when he's doing this, he's going to know exactly how to react to it as well if it's just as accurate. So It's good to see that it works like that.
We just got from Alex actually saying getting such an adrenaline buzz from this. You said that they're being there laughing, and he's now got the nose stamper just down the outside of him. Guillaume's going to try and do something about it, but Hesno's not the one that's attacking Alex at the moment. It's 3 wide for the lead this time. We said that Smith was getting good starts, but it was getting less and less dominant, and it really showed that time because the 2 trucks up along the inside are Swanson and Cedric, but again, he's just cautiously kept that outside line, which is still working at the moment for him. And now he just starts to stretch his legs at the front as Swanson's starting to have to be more wary of, I was going to say Cedric, but let's say Cedric and everybody else.
Yeah, it's there's just this rabble behind. We've got Fletcher, Yardley and Topley all side by side there around turns 3 and 4. And now Guillaume Hesno's on the inside of Topley. They're having a bit of a smoochy, as Charlie Cox would have said in the 90s around there. But he's just managing to squeeze it out. Oh, Topley hits the wall, and that upsets the truck so much going into the corner as well. You know, that tiny little tap, it just straightens it up, and it means that you've got to wait for it to turn in. He's made it work, though. He's bounced off the wall and hit Hesno again, granted, but he's made it work in terms of getting the straight line speed out of it. Crowles is now up to 4th place. Cedric still ahead in 3rd, but look at the gap in front, though, to the guys getting away. Swanson is doing an awesome job, though, to be fair. He's really sticking with Aaron Smith at this point, and I think he's the sort of unspoken hero at this point. I mean, Smith may be leading the race, but Swanson's doing such a great job to stay with him. Look at the understeer there into turn 1 now that surface is really sheened up.
Yeah, but I think that Alex is having to be wary that it's not sheened up as much as he was expecting, because he was certainly saying, oh, look out for this, look out for this. It's not done it to quite the level, because I think enough of them have been going to the inside, which means you haven't had every single truck doing that outside line. Plus, they've been kicking more of that dirt back over what line would have been sheening up, and it just hasn't evolved in quite the same way. So it still means we're getting the varying lines. We've only got 6 laps left to go, or 5.5 laps left to go. And interestingly, I see that Ben Kriener, he did come back out of the pits, but he's gone back in again. So that would make me assume he was 4 laps down, and it still didn't feel right for him. And Connor Mills and Ant Wharton Hills haven't been able to rejoin. Yeah,
it just seems like the damage was too much in the end. We've got Hesno here bouncing off the wall. We've actually probably had the longest green flag period for a while. There you go, there's a jinx. Zach Yardley and Guillaume Hesno still side by side into turn 1. All the way around, and Hesno just shows how well you can carry that pace. We did see a little bit of a shine there from the middle line. Here's Smith doing his usual thing of just painting sparks everywhere around this circuit. Swanson doing an amazing job following him. Look at that, the sparks just kissing the wall. A little bit of a spark anyway from Smith. The one time I mention it, he doesn't do it. Thanks, mate. Alex Cedric, though, still sat in 3rd with what is left of Brian Crowell's Toyota Tundra in 4th. He's used that thing as a battering ram, not intentionally, but you know, it's been a very noble steed for him. But Smith's only got 2 laps to go now here, Chris, and I think he might have this wrapped up as long as we don't get another yellow.
Yeah, he's going to be praying that it stays green now, isn't it? He's got enough daylight there if he can just keep it on point for the race. But look at that, diving up the inside goes Swanson. He's trying something different. They do say that sanity is basically if you keep trying doing the same thing and expect a different result. Well, he's gone for something different this time, and it hasn't quite worked for him there. If anything, it's probably dropped him back slightly more, but he had to give it a go, didn't he, as we're coming towards the flag. Bring them home, Chaz.
Yeah, he certainly did have to give it a go, and you can't doubt him for trying, but you have Aaron Smith as your winner of the Eldora Truck Challenge presented by Vertex Experience. What a great drive that was. Swanson, a very well-deserved 2nd place. Cedric manages to still take a podium spot. Brian Crowles, though, hands together for Brian Crowles, everybody, because 4th place from starting from the back of the grid throughout all of that madness as well is a great result. Same for Alistair Topley. He gained 6 positions. 4 places gained for Billy Fletcher in the end, who's still around in turn 1 somehow at the end of the race. But what an amazing race that was, and we're just going to bring up the results now for you then, and just get the feature race results on screen. And there you have it then. Aaron Smith wins the race. Nearly a 2nd gap in the end though there, Chris, to Donald Swanson. So shows how quickly it opens up, because when he went into the corner, they were pretty much exactly side by side, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and it was trying to go for that low-line effort that he had to give a go, but it looked like it was working for a second, didn't it? But clearly, just as they got back on the power on the flatter straight, it didn't work for him, and he dropped himself back just over 3/4 of a second behind. But he wasn't under pressure from behind himself, was he? So he could take that risk.
Yeah, definitely. He's managed to make it work throughout the whole race, but Aaron Smith was pretty untouchable, to be honest. He's just got it absolutely nailed all the way through, and I didn't expect to see that. I mean, I know I sort of eluded it with the question at the beginning, thinking, are we going to see a runaway winner? Are we going to see it all mix up? The back of the field, I mean, fourth onwards was just absolute mayhem. You may as well have got all their names in a hat, thrown them in the air, and then just see which one hit the ground first and try to remember
from third onwards, come on. It was from third
well,
backwards,
yeah,
wasn't
very
it?
true.
It was just incredible. And yeah, even Adam saying that Alex was like an excited child, so he absolutely loved that one. And that's what we want to hear, because it was entertaining from our perspective. It must have been even better in being, in there sort of doing it.
It was
Sorry,
pretty
was
crazy.
reading another message that came through there. I'm sorry about that. I lost my train of thought. They're saying about the fact that it was a lot of fun, but I think there's some frustration as well, as you'd expect, because what was the great phrase I heard the other day is the cars might not be real, but the racing is.
Yeah, certainly is. And I'll always back that up. It's really amazing. A lot of people that get involved in sim racing, we do it because we can't afford to do it for real. We haven't been given the opportunities to do it for real. And this is the closest you'll get. And a lot of drivers swear by things like iRacing. They say how realistic it is and how close to the real thing. It's just great that people respect it that much, and we can put on events like this and see that. Again, I'm going to apologise for no music to everyone, because Discord really does hate me. But speaking of Discord, Chris, what we need to do, my friend, is jump over into the Vertex Esports Discord channel. Just go into the general channel in there so we can then get an interview. We have, I believe, Donald Swanson waiting for us, so I will see you there.
Okay.
We'll just hop over now. There's the wonderful, unmistakable noise of Discord for you, everybody. And we're going to drag in Donald Swanson for an interview in just a sec. Just going to see whether we can grab Chris and bring him over as well. Just see whether he comes through. And Alex Sedgwick is also waiting for an interview at this moment in time as well. So we'll see what we can grab from there. And here we are then with Chris and Donald Swanson. Donald, that was a very entertaining race on all accounts, but from the front it looked like you had quite a job on there chasing Aaron Smith down.
Yeah, I did my best to catch him. I just couldn't get a good enough line to even gain on him, man. He ran a great race there.
Well, how was it in second, watching all the... Well, I was going to ask first, were you watching all the stuff going on behind you? Because it was quite crazy from third backwards.
Wish I did. It sounded like it got exciting back there. I was trying to keep it as straight as I could. Yeah, I wish I could have got a view, and then I'll have to go back and watch the replay of that and check.
There was quite a lot of incidents, but the stuff that we could expect from this sort of event. Drivers just washing up a little bit wide, coming from the low line, sliding up into the high line. How was it making the high line work? Because we saw that it started to get a bit slippery up there, but towards the end of the race, it seemed really quite treacherous.
Yeah, it slicks off real quick towards the last quarter of the race, and it gets hard. Even you gotta get it almost exact in that spot in the groove there to run a good line. That's why I tried the last couple laps. I tried running a slider line in 3 and 4 just to see if I could gain on them at all. But yeah, it gets slick up there, and you got to be really precise running that top line in the last quarter.
Yeah, we
Donald,
saw...
one of the things I was going to say as well that we really noticed is that in the early stages, Aaron was able to get a cracking restart every time, but you got wiser and wiser to what he was doing, and you were keeping him more and more honest off those restarts the more that you were having.
He was pulling real hard on me in the restarts, and yeah, like you said, I kind of caught on, and because it made it hard to even try reeling them in. So I was lucky that there was that many cautions just to keep him close, because he would have been gone if it wasn't for all those cautions.
We were saying as well that it looked like the track didn't change quite as much as we were expecting. We were looking for that sheen line up high, and it kept sort of teasing us with being there, but not quite to the level we thought it would be. So you were able to take more of a high line, but you tried the low line at the end there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I think with all those cautions, it might have helped keep that top not as slick. Maybe if there was more green laps, it might have slicked it off more. But being everyone is driving down low on the cautions, it kind of kicks up some dirt up there to kind of keep it a little sticky,
But if you went too high, we noticed as well that it was a bit mushy at the right up against the wall, and it just dragged you closer to that wall.
Yeah, it sucked you right in if you got up just a little bit.
Well, it was great to watch either way, Donald. It was an amazing drive. You did a very, very good job, mate. Just before we let you go, though, buddy, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to on stream?
I would. I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting and Vertex Motor. That was I really enjoyed that. It was fun racing with a bunch of guys I never really raced with before. And shout out to hornblasters.com and Elwood Construction.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you very much, Donald. Well done again. And hopefully we'll see you in another event in the future.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Donald Swanson there.
We do, because we got season 2 coming up soon, haven't we, as well?
We have, yeah. Vertex Stock Car Cup Season 2 will be starting very soon, and somebody that is going to be hoping to reflect results quite like tonight in that championship will be our race winner, Aaron Smith. Aaron, very well done, mate. That was a really well-driven performance, that. In the restarts, you were leaving Donald quite a lot at the beginning, and then he started getting towards you to the end. He sort of started to cotton on, as he just said to us. Did you think that there was a bit of a chance he would get you at the end?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, if we had one more restart, I don't think I would have been able to keep him behind me, because every time he was getting closer and closer to getting that overlap on my right rear. But, going into turn 1, the last restart, I had a bit of trouble getting in. I was a bit shallow on entry. You had to go up high and hit the wall, but yeah, he put on a pretty good show.
There was
Talking about a good show, Aaron, is that we were loving the amount of sparks that you were kicking up, because you were just scraping along that wall all the time. It was such an impressive show. But towards the end, was it sort of having any effect on the car, the amount of love that you were giving that wall?
I don't believe so. I didn't see any legitimate damage on my right rear. I was trying my best not to hit it, because that's protestable events and official. But I was trying to keep the door off the wall. I did a pretty good job of that. But otherwise, truck handled.
That's cool. We certainly love watching the sparks, that's for sure. And that's interesting to hear that you. We were saying that it looked as though Howard was getting closer off the restarts. How did you just keep your cool time and time again, though, to make sure that you did keep him behind?
Well, those last couple of restarts, I was a nervous wreck, to be honest with you. Just feathering the throttle in the corners, keeping the back end off the wall, and trying to keep those right rear tires against the against that berm of dirt on the outside, and getting a good.
Well, I bet it was also getting frustrating every time you saw the yellows, because there was quite a few times you actually managed to get a bit of daylight between yourself and the rest of the pack, and then the yellows would come out and you'd have to go through it all again.
Yeah, I noticed every time I had Ben behind me on the inside, we'd have a pretty good jump on the restart, be able to get a good gap ahead of second and third place. But after he got taken out and Alex was behind me, they started getting much closer to my back bumper. So yeah, I was pretty nervous.
We enjoyed it.
We certainly did. And what are your thoughts ahead of Vertex Stock Car Cup Season 2 as well, Aaron? I mean, after a result like that, I know it's a rather different discipline, to say the least, but you surely got to be quite excited for the season ahead after that.
Pretty optimistic. I like to call myself a jack of all trades in sim racing, but only time will.
Well, hopefully so, mate. I really, really can't wait to see how you get on in that one. And the big yellow Bumblebee as well. Hopefully that'll make a return. It certainly stands out among the rest of them. But before we let you go tonight, mate, is there anybody you would like to shout out to on stream?
Well, I'd like to thank everyone at Vertex for putting this on, and all the real drivers who come and race with us. It's always pretty fun to trade paint with them, and y'all for broadcasting, and everyone for...
Awesome. Thank you very much, Aaron. Great to speak to you, my friend, and we'll see you when Vertex Stock Car Cup comes back for Season 2.
Alrighty, thank you.
What a great guy and a very deserving winner. And somebody else that we have to have a chat with. I've been told, I wonder if he's come down from Cloud9 yet, actually. Third place finisher, Alex Sedgwick. Alex, we were just laughing at your messages coming through, mate, saying how much you were buzzing from this. Have you managed to calm down yet?
Oh, I am sweating, shaking, massive adrenaline rush. That was awesome. Like, it's rare, that, whether it's real, on a sim, whatever, that I break my nice, calm, normal attitude. But just, yeah, the intensity of Eldora, and obviously in a truck that's not designed to race on dirt, is is mental. So obviously, you know, especially on those restarts when you've got people trying to slide up and take your line, vice versa. If you're on the bottom and trying to take the line, and you've got to decide whether you can't take that spot, and the guy on the top line's coming at you 15-20 miles an hour quicker. Yeah, it's awesome. So much fun.
And that's being showed, Alex, in the messages that we're seeing coming in from everyone, is that they've all gone like, oh my God, we need to do more dirt racing. That was incredible.
Really, and I mean, that was the kind of intended outcome. Obviously, we've joked before that I'm kind of the resident American, or the of Vertex, or of the UK. But this was, to try and show that, you know, guys who are watching from the UK, from Europe, who don't necessarily watch this type of racing, who even, you know, oval racing in general is quite new to them, that it's awesome. You know, it's so much fun. It's a whole different type of racing, a whole different sort of attitude that you take into it from a road course, from a you know, even a pavement oval. So it's I think guys have, you know, they've done a lot of learning in the past couple of days getting ready for it. But yeah, because exactly like you say, you know, everyone who's competed in this one has absolutely loved it. Our grid's been super close as well, you know, a couple temps between everyone, and hopefully it paves the way for more dirt stuff in the future, because I'd love to do more.
Well, I'd certainly love to call more. It was just so exciting. I've always said that as a commentator is that we just get to read the story that the driver's writing for us in front of us. And that was just had Chaz and I sort of trying not to spontaneously combust with the excitement that was out there. It was just absolutely amazing. But I'm going to pick up on one thing, is that I guess it was the amount of cautions that came out. One of the drivers ahead of you were saying that they think that's probably what made the difference. It didn't transition the track quite as much as everybody was expecting, did it?
Absolutely. I mean, I was expecting, you know, exactly like you say, for the bottom to be a bit better at the end. You probably saw the last probably 5. I think we had 5 or so laps from the last restart where I was running the bottom quite a lot, and it was starting to get to the point where I was more comfortable holding pace on the bottom, but I couldn't make any inroads because you still just didn't get that drive off. The sort of forward bite from the top was still too strong, which I think probably the amount of caution laps helped that, because it just, where everyone's running a bit lower, it kind of flicks a bit of dirt back up to the top and covers the rubber over, obviously helping it to stay grippy for a bit longer. But yeah, I mean, it's the joys of dirt racing as well, that you never know how the track's going to progress. Every time you race, it's going to be different based on where people are running and how long people are running for, which obviously you don't get on a road course, or not to the same degree on an oval, even on a tarmac oval, that you just have to constantly be adapting. And you know, as a result, obviously drivers could be mega fast at the start, but obviously struggle later on, or vice versa. But yeah, I mean, it's a whole new challenge, and really great fun. And obviously, I think it shows that our two Americans, the ringers of dirt ovals, have just got that little gap on everyone at the moment. But hopefully, if we do some more, obviously, I can figure it out a bit more and get up there and compete for some wins.
Well, it was certainly entertaining from our part. We loved every single moment of that. And just to read out as well that the random prize draw that we had tonight, that I've forgotten about at every single round of the Vertex Stock Car Cup this season, Adam has kindly reminded me that Donald Swanson has won a 50% discount on the Stock Car Cup entry for the coming season if he chooses to use it. So that is the random draw from the night. Just from you, Alex, it was an amazing race, mate. A good performance as always, as we've seen this season in VSCC. You know, you're always up there. Hopefully we can do it again. Just thanks from me, obviously, and I'm sure I speak for Chris as well, thanking you for getting us on this, because it's been so entertaining. Anyone else you want to shout out to before you go, buddy?
I mean, first of all, guys, you're welcome, and thank you to both of you. Obviously, Chris, it's your first time with us, and I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and obviously, hopefully, we'll have you both of you call in many more races for us. But thank you to you guys. Thank you to obviously Adam, Rob, everyone behind the scenes as well from Vertex and Luxem. Thank you to the guys who decided to listen to me that dirt ovals are fun, and you should have a go on them. Hopefully we've proved that, and we can do some more in the future. And like you said, we've got Vertex Stock Car Cup Season 2 coming up pretty soon. It starts on the 27th of May at Kansas Speedway. So obviously anyone watching who wants to get involved with our stuff, we've got a nice big prize pot for that. Obviously a nice big grid, a good quality grid as well. So have a look on our website, vertex-esports.com. Can't talk, I'm still buzzing. Yeah, but yeah, have a look at what we do. Obviously, it'd be great to get some more of you involved, and hopefully going forward we can do a bit more dirt stuff as well.
And you've got to get involved, because not only is the racing amazing, these guys put on such a good production. There's a privilege that they've asked me to get involved from a commentary side of things. That it's gone out on YouTube, it goes out on Facebook as well. When we've got more time, we get involved with the comments that you're able to get involved with. The sponsors are taken care of. We really try to make sure we can advertise them as much as possible. You get to shout out. It's just an awesome production. So get involved. Season 2 of the Vertex Stock Car Championship is going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
Nicely said. Nicely said. Well, thank you for joining us, Alex. I'm sure we'll speak to you in the debrief anyway once you've stopped vibrating. And we'll speak to you very soon, mate.
Cheers, guys.
So, amazing event there, Chris. That was just so exciting. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect because I've never really done a dirt oval broadcast before, but that was mind-blowing, wasn't it?
Yeah. I will be signing up nice and early if we're going to do some more of them. And genuinely, I've been looking at the drivers' comments. They're going, let's do some more, let's do some more.
I can see it lining up now.
Something. They're sort of talking about possibly doing something. What was the phrase one of them used? Something that's designed to go on dirt track, though.
Yeah.
And it just was absolutely amazing to watch. And compliments to you, mate, with your directing. It was so good. It's the kind of thing that I wish I had in the real world commentary.
Thank you, mate.
It is. It makes a difference. There's so much, as you know as well, Chaz. There's a reasonable chance that you and I will be working together more and more in the real world as well. And you don't get to see as much, but you with sort of doing the replays, all of that sort of things. How many times have you been in the commentary box and gone, I wish I could replay that incident?
Exactly, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just wishing that you can look back, just see how something happened. And like you were saying before, it's about telling the story to people and narrating what's going on. You can easily say, oh look, there's a black truck going sideways, but if you tell them why it's going sideways, what position it's in, what it's doing, where he's been, it just adds so much more to it from the experience. And of course, reflecting that as well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed watching it, because it's been a real joy. And obviously thank you, Chris, for stepping in, because it's been a really good laugh as well at the same time.
It has. And in case you ever ask, I have no idea where the things I think of come from.
I was going to ask you later, but there we go, it's out of the public.
No idea.
But honestly, everybody, thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been a real joy. Chris, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure, really has. And we will catch you all very, very soon. Have a great evening.